Okay, good morning everybody, and thank you for attending Rakuten Conference 2018. Well, let me lightly introduce myself. My name is Shunsuke Hoshino, as introduced. I'm the Executive Officer and Co-CTO of a commerce company responsible for mainly for Rakuten Travel. So today, I'd like to talk about what kind of idea, or like a back-end side of the new product, travel, that we are going to build. Maybe one of the key things, I joined 2003 for Rakuten. It's very back when we were very small, and I moved 14 times in my lifetime. And the total kilometer distance is like close to 70,000 kilometers. So because I was going back and forth to the United States. So maybe that's one of the things that I am kind of unique in that kind of sense. Okay? So, I don't know if you guys know, but Rakuten Travel is #2 in travel industry in Japan. I'm not just talking about online, I'm talking about the total travel industry in Japan. So, you're huge. And I probably nobody knows this, but we are #1 in rent-a-car reservation. So we have a lot of #1 services, so we are growing rapidly. So, excuse me. So, for the service, well, we call it Rakuten Travel, but actually you're supporting a lot of things, for like hotels, for like air bookings, rent-a-cars, like bus tour activities, and of course like sightseeing info and like guest reviews. So we have all of these kind of services. And well, used to be until today, before this new platform, we have to build different architecture for all these kind of domains. So like a data structure, architecture, everything was different. Okay. But even today in travel industry, I think all the architecture, data design is totally different. So, like 1.5 years ago, we decided to change everything. So that's what we began. So, from 2 days from now, around probably 40 hours from now, we are going to release new Rakuten Travel product to the public. So it's gonna be totally different. And from the beginning of this year, I was talking about the product side of the new Rakuten Travel site. But today, I kind of a little bit talk, since this is Rakuten Travel Technology Conference, I really want to talk about a little bit the back-end side, like architecture or data structure of the new Rakuten Travel. We call it next stage. So what we have to do is, so we are providing a lot of user experience from our website. So from we have to ready for readiness, we have to have distribution networks, we have to have great UX, sales promotion, and of course we have to build guest review too. This is just the traveling side. We also have to do connectivity too. We have to connect to the hotels too to make the reservation. So connectivity, extranet. This is the a UI for hotels, like a dashboard, so they can input their inventory by themselves. And we have to build internal tools for business. And we also have to have a CMS and campaign management system too. So this is a lot of system we have to tackle. So we kind of choose 3 pillars of changes. So one, we really want to be world standard. So we have to be world readiness. Well, I'm in Rakuten for, I don't know, more than 15 years and very used to get told that development is always slow. So I kind of getting very tired of that. So want to have faster development. And of course, nowadays, everybody's talking AI. So we also have to put some AI features into our new platform. So let me start with world readiness. So, well, Rakuten Travel was established in 1996. So, well, nobody knew that Rakuten is going to go global at that moment. So back-end side, like data structure, everything is not world ready. So we have to do something about that, right? But if you think about the business point of view, Rakuten Travel already selling inventory outside of Japan, and we have the best inventory for Japan, including like hotels, ryokan, rent cars, those kind of things. And we are using those inventory to sell it to the outside of Japan people. We call it inbound. So we already have outbound, inbound. Maybe the final piece is just selling non-Japanese inventory to the people who is not living in Japan. If we kind of complete that, we are going to have the total world-ready platform. So that's one of the things we have to build. To be able to do that, we have to support, what that means is we have to support 13 markets in 15 different languages. And we really wanted to do a different way. We really wanted to do auto assignment by using to know where the people is accessing from. We really want to automatically like choose a language for them and automatically choose a market for them. That's one of the things. But also, we want to improve the our platform better automatically. So we kind of put some kind of an AI into this. So platform itself can learn what kind of word is going to be most used or it's going to be most recognized. So by like that kind of cycle, we were able to create like a world readiness platform for our customers. Let me just a little bit go into detail what kind of an issue we are going to solve. So we don't, so like a currency, like a format is very different for countries, but by having this kind of platform, it's going to be automatically solved. And of course, like contents, data, wording, everything, of course, sometimes you want to like translate everything, but probably it's going to take time and probably you want to use some like a user activity tools. So we have this kind of automated AI to learn what kind of word is going to be most used by the customers. And used to be, we have to build a system like per countries. But I think it's not economical, that's not productive. So we're just going to have one platform to support all the languages and countries. And maybe this is last but not least, there is a lot of geological vocabulary that you shouldn't use in that kind of market. And I think it used to be Rakuten is just in Japan, so we can just like look at all the wording and check all the word. But if you're going to go to 13 different countries with 15 different languages, that's like close to 200. So that's going to be almost impossible. So we're going to be figuring out how we can do this automatically right now. And for a little bit different, but for URL, I think we really kind of similar to we didn't want to build a lot of system. So we are going to have unified URL for our platform moving forward. So the base domain structure is going to be HTTP, travelrakuten.com/area/language/service. This is going to be just the key domain for Rakuten Travel. So if you just check US or JP or something like that, you can automatically change the language or the marketplaces too. Of course, today, Travel Rakuten COJP is very strong. I kind of wanted to get rid of that, but still it's very strong, so I'm just going to keep it for a while. But I think Google is doing some improvement, not to think about so much about the domain. And if we see no impact for having a single domain, probably I'm just going to change everything to single domain as RakutenTravel.com. I don't know when it's not going to be, but I think that's one of the things I really want to do in the future. So that's the world readiness part. So next pillar is quick development platform. So I joined Rakuten in 2003, but I joined Rakuten Travel in 2013. From then, we improved the productivity by 8 times. So we used to just release like 46 projects per year, but now we are capable of doing more than 350 projects per year. And this is with the same amount of people. And probably I can talk all day about what we did to have this kind of improvement, but well, probably the topic for today is not this one, so I'm gonna skip it. But even I improved the development speed, well, we are never fast enough. Of course, always business person can think about some new features, and it's take at least like 1 to 3 months to build new features in a platform like travel. We have to design it right, we have to make the architecture right, and we have to test it heavily. Because we are not a startup anymore, we cannot just release freely. We don't want to have a negative impact. So that is why we are not that fast or quick as a development in that kind of sense. So development gets delayed from business moments always. But I don't like that. I don't like to lose. I always like to win. So I was thinking, so I just have to get ready for the future requirements. This is what we have to do inside our platform. So how can we do that is, well, I think we just have to make everything simple and try to cover all the business cases as much as possible. So I am just going to show you 2 examples, maybe one, of how we are going to do, how we change from the data point of view. So Rakuten Travel used to, I think invented the plan in 1996. So plan data is the core of Rakuten Travel today. We put all the data, informations, inventory, room types, everything into the plan. That was good, but if we change the plan data, it's gonna be a huge development to modify the new features. So why can't we just break it up? So we kind of break it up to item, option, and sale promotion. If you actually plan is just combination of these 3. And probably if you're not in the travel industry, maybe it's gonna take a while for you to digest this kind of information, but so I'm not going into the details. But this is kind of a concept that we are doing, to try to simplify and everything. And one of the things is, this is a data structure for item. Item is just based on basic information, inventory, and rate, and specific information, that's all. And for the options, well, it's just one addition to the item data structure. This is just, you just have to put the condition. Difference between item and option is, well, the options have some kind of condition, meaning you have to choose this item to be able to use these options. Or this person cannot use these options, something like that. So what I want to say is, we kind of generalize all the data structure so we can have a very simple data structure for supporting all the business need. Generalization is a very key keyword for this new platform. So that's why it's here. So I kind of talk about the generalization of the data structure. Let me just talk about the architecture point of view of the generalization. So this is a really high level, excuse me, high level of new platform architecture. So databases, this is Rakuten database. Bottom side we have the hotels, upside we have the customers. So what this means is, well, even like Rakuten Travel site itself is going to running top around here. So what that means is, if the business site allow, or if the policy allows, anybody can have the same functionality as Rakuten Travel. I don't know if we're gonna allow it, but it's gonna be possible. So that means is, well, it's a very flexible system, and anybody can use any types of function that we are providing. So because of that, well, we're just gonna have one platform support hotels, car rental, air and bus, and activities. So I think, so moving forward, We don't do restaurant reservation yet, but for me, it's going to be very, very easy. I just have to create maybe new UI. Probably I even don't have to put new UI. So maybe if the business wanted to sell a hotel restaurant reservation, I can do it. Well, of course, to have a real service, we have to create a data. So pay maybe the data creation, like shop information, picture of the restaurant, those kind of things, probably takes more than a month. So I can wait. I can do more testing while somebody, like marketing or somebody, is building the data to sell the new services moving forward. So that's the architecture side of the generalization of the new platform. Just want to talk a little bit more about the concept that we implemented. So, well, I think that there's a lot of developer here. So I think that we have to change a lot of texting or strings. I wanted to do something about that too. So, kind of very simple, right? So in Rakuten Travel website, or maybe in the apps, everything you should see have an object ID. Everything have an ID. And how we're gonna work it is object ID, term ID, that's how we make how the user is going to be looking at our website. So let me show you some details. I kind of hide the object ID and term ID because I don't want to make it public. But I think you can see that everything have object ID and term ID. And even like here, these have like IDs. So what this means is if I change like a dictionary or something or term ID, I can change the wording or even the language itself too. So for me, changing the word or changing the language is not going to be a huge issue anymore. I just have to deal with the term ID. That's all. I don't have to do any new development. So what that means is I can go to new marketplaces even faster than today. One more, kind of same concept. So like I said, everything have object ID. Now if you combine object ID to account ID, what that is that's just access control. That's it. So what that means is like this. So I have a business requirement that in some market, I cannot sell this kind of inventory or hotels. Well, we just have to do that. Object ID and user ID, that's all. We just gonna label some kind of a customer ID for the travelers. Then we don't have to do so many things to control what is going to be shown for that market, for that users. Used to be, we have in our current platform, we have tons of if in our program to support a lot of conditions. And that it was taking so much time for us to do the debugging and making the product right. So that is why we kind of come up with this kind of a concept. Term ID, access control, I think this is kind of a basic thing that we have in OS today. So we kind of learning from the OS how we building OS, like Microsoft, those kind of thing, how those guys building new, implementing the services, import it into the website. That's a concept. Okay, so last pillar, AI readiness. So we kind of thought we're using tags and flags. So I think if you kind of feel like if you talk about AI for like traveling, maybe you can think about like sort order or like recommendation engine. We already do that, so I'm not going to talk about that today. I just want to talk about tags and flags. And what this is it's kind of AI for finding the right text or find the right string. I kind of touch upon it a little bit in the beginning of the session. But basically, well, there's a trend of the word. So we want to know which word is going to be heavily used or which word is going to be most going to have the positive impact to the customers. And of course, we really want to learn which word is not going to be efficient to the customer too. So we kind of created 2 cycles. One, starting from the hotels. Hotels gonna have description, and in that kind of description, we're gonna do a lot of analysis we're gonna find a word that is gonna be heavily used, try to make a tag out of it, and we're gonna ask the customers to use those tags. And if those tags is going to be useful, that is going to be feedback to the hotels, and hotels is going to use it even more. And hotels going to use it even more. Probably we're going to make icons or something like that. So it's going to be evolve. Like a word is going to evolve, and the word itself is always evolving. Like probably the best example is like cell networks. I think like maybe 6-7 years ago we kind of call cell networks. Now we used to call 3G. Change it LTE. Probably we call it 4G. Probably next year we're gonna probably like a 5G. So in this kind of a cycle, we don't have to always find the word by ourselves. We can just find a word from the hotels or from the customers to always improve or update the word that we use inside Rakuten Travel. So the right-hand side is just the same like a cycle from the user side. So we are asking user to do like search keywords, or we have a review system. So we can find the word from those kind of in that way too. So by using these two cycles, we are going to learn the best word that is going to be used in the travel industry, and hopefully we can put the feedback to the travel industry to improve the travel experience for all the travelers. Okay, so that will be all my presentation. Like I said, from around 40 hours from now, we are going to move into the new platform. So stay tuned. And well, we are always hiring. So if you have any interest, please let me know, or please let me staff know. Okay? All right. So thank you, everyone, and let's have a great technology conference. Thank you.